Next up is the baboon. Across Africa's forests and wide-open savannas, baboons and leopards often cross paths in nature's harsh cycle. Baboons live in large, tightly organized groups. They always have lookouts on duty. With sharp eyesight and keen hearing, they can spot predators from far away. On the other side, the leopard is a master of stealth. It hunts alone, moving with patience and silence. Hidden in tall grass or dense leaves, it waits for one careless moment. If a young baboon strays or the group drops its guard, the leopard strikes. Clashes between the two are common, an essential part of the survival game. In this world, one small mistake can cost a life. Silent as a shadow, the leopard approaches the riverbank where a loud troop of baboons has gathered. This is clearly their territory. Driven by thirst, the leopard takes the risk, stepping into danger with extreme caution. Every move is a balance between survival instinct and looming threat. As it lowers its head to drink, the moment feels calm. But that silence is short-lived. One baboon spots the intruder and sounds the alarm. The whole troop erupts in screams, charging in full fury. Faced with the angry mob, the leopard knows it's crossed the line. It doesn't dare fight a raging group. It turns and retreats immediately. Behind it, the cool river remains, along with the echoing cries of those who won't tolerate trespassers. Like a ghost, the leopard moves through the thick grass without a sound. Each step is a perfect mix of patience and killer instinct. Up ahead, a baboon digs in the dirt, unaware of the cold eyes watching it. Just a few steps away, the leopard suddenly bolts. Its muscles tighten, launching it like an arrow through the wind. The baboon lets out one terrified cry before it's slammed to the ground. It's over in seconds. Without hesitation, the leopard holds its prey with practiced precision. Cold and focused, it finishes the hunt like a predator used to winning. In a land where only the strong survive, it quietly proves once again it rules in silence. And then there's the lion ruler of the savannah, with a thunderous roar and unmatched power. Every step shakes the ground, warning rivals and striking fear into prey. But strength alone doesn't write every legend. Are you ready to witness this quiet but intense showdown? A lion quietly tracked a lone leopard, moving slowly but steadily to close the distance and wait for the right moment. But the leopard's sharp survival instincts kicked in. It sensed the danger. The moment it locked eyes with the stalking lion, it bolted. Using its speed and agility, the leopard dashed away and climbed up a nearby tree in seconds, leaving the lion below staring up, helpless. In the forests and savannas of Africa, baboons and leopards often cross paths in daily life. Baboons live in large organized troops and stay alert to danger at all times. Their sharp vision and hearing help them spot predators from far away. Leopards, on the other hand, are solitary hunters that quietly stalk their prey. They wait for the right moment, especially when a baboon lets its guard down or a young one strays. These encounters are a regular part of nature, where one mistake can mean life or death. The leopard quietly approaches the stream, where a troop of baboons has taken over the area. Driven by thirst, it risks entering this dangerous zone, but the loud noise from the baboons keeps it on alert. As soon as it lowers its head to drink, the calm breaks. The baboons quickly spot the unwelcome guest. They scream and charge with clear aggression. Outnumbered and overwhelmed by their hostile energy, the leopard has no choice. It leaves the water behind and retreats into the forest, away from the angry troop. With light steps like floating over grass, the leopard quietly moves toward its prey. Its cold, sharp eyes lock onto a baboon busy digging for food, completely unaware. Just a few steps away, the leopard suddenly bursts forward like an arrow. The baboon lets out a startled cry but is taken down instantly by a lightning-fast pounce. It all happens in a flash. The predator doesn't waste a second, securing the kill with precision. In the harsh wild, the leopard once again proves it's the silent master of the hunt. The leopard suddenly charges into a troop of baboons, targeting a young one separated from its mother. It expects an easy catch, but things quickly spiral out of control. Instead of panicking, the baboons regroup and fight back from all sides. Sharp fangs, claws, and furious screams form a chaotic circle around the predator. Caught off guard, the leopard is overwhelmed and retreats into the forest. But the baboons don't stop. They chase after it, determined to teach the hunter a lesson it won't forget. Hidden beneath thick grass, the leopard stays still like a shadow, eyes locked on a lone baboon approaching. When the distance is just right, it launches like an arrow, closing in within seconds and landing a fatal pounce. The baboon falls, its scream echoing through the bushes and alerting the entire troop. They scream back and rush in, hoping to save their fellow. But it's too late. The leopard holds its prey tight in its sharp jaws, leaving behind the desperate cries of the troop. Starting with the hyena, with its eerie laugh and relentless hunting instincts, it is one of the most fearsome animals in the wild. Although not as strong as lions or leopards, the hyena stands out for its intelligence and ability to hunt in packs. They succeed in hunting through coordinated tactics, focusing on weaker prey or stealing from other predators. However, when facing the leopard, a powerful and agile animal, the hyena faces a significant challenge. The leopard, with its perfect hunting skills and incredible speed, makes it difficult for the hyena to attack or steal from it. In these encounters, the leopard can easily overcome the hyena due to its strength and solitary combat abilities, forcing the hyena to hesitate and retreat. The leopard clamped tightly onto the prey and quickly climbed up the tree, escaping from the scavengers below. However, as it reached a high branch, a careless mistake caused the prey to slip from its jaws and fall to the ground. Immediately, a hyena waiting below rushed in, snatching the carcass and carrying it away. The leopard could only watch in astonishment and helplessness as its prize slipped out of reach. With lightning speed, the leopard suddenly charged, stealing the prey right from under the hyena's nose. Caught off guard, the hyena could only growl in frustration as the leopard swiftly grabbed the carcass and climbed up into the tall tree. On the safe branches, the leopard leisurely enjoyed its feast, keeping well out of reach of the scavengers below. On the sun-scorched savanna, a leopard silently tracked a lone jackal. Eyes cold, body tense with power, it waited patiently for the perfect moment. When the jackal stepped into range, the leopard struck like lightning. One swift pounce, a fatal bite to the neck, the jackal never had a chance. In seconds, the hunt was over. The leopard grabbed its kill and quietly disappeared, leaving only a faint trail of blood fading into the heat of the wild. Spotting a wild boar carcass in the dry grass, a pack of jackals moved in, hoping for a free meal. But they didn't know the real predator was watching from the shadows. Suddenly, a leopard burst from the bushes, growling and attacking the intruders without warning. What followed was a fierce fight, snarls, lunges, and chaos. With raw power and cold precision, the leopard drove the jackals away, securing its meal and keeping the scavengers at bay. On the scorching desert floor, a wild dog lay sound asleep under the burning sun, unaware of the danger closing in. From a distance, a leopard moved in silently, each step light as air, eyes locked onto its careless prey. Once within striking range, it lunged without hesitation. The attack was precise, hitting a weak spot. In seconds, it became the latest kill of the silent predator, the leopard. In the thick bush, a wild dog curled up under a tree, fast asleep in the midday heat. Not a sound, not a clue. But the calm was short-lived. A leopard, catching the scent of prey, crept in each step light as air, eyes locked on the sleeping target. Then, in a flash, it struck. The wild dog had no time to react. Trapped in the leopard's jaws, it was dragged away in seconds. On the sun-scorched savanna, a leopard silently tracked a lone jackal. Eyes cold, body tense with power, it waited patiently for the perfect moment. When the jackal stepped into range, the leopard struck like lightning. One swift pounce, a fatal bite to the neck, the jackal never had a chance. In seconds, the hunt was over. The leopard grabbed its kill and quietly disappeared, leaving only a faint trail of blood fading into the heat of the wild. Spotting a wild boar carcass in the dry grass, a pack of jackals moved in, hoping for a free meal. But they didn't know the real predator was watching from the shadows. Suddenly, a leopard burst from the bushes, growling and attacking the intruders without warning. What followed was a fierce fight, snarls, lunges, and chaos. With raw power and cold precision, the leopard drove the jackals away, securing its meal and keeping the scavengers at bay. On the scorching desert floor, a wild dog lay sound asleep under the burning sun, unaware of the danger closing in. From a distance, a leopard moved in silently, each step light as air, eyes locked onto its careless prey. Once within striking range, it lunged without hesitation. The attack was precise, hitting a weak spot. In seconds, it became the latest kill of the silent predator, the leopard. In the thick bush, a wild dog curled up under a tree, fast asleep in the midday heat. Not a sound, not a clue. But the calm was short-lived. A leopard, catching the scent of prey, crept in each step light as air, eyes locked on the sleeping target. Then, in a flash, it struck. The wild dog had no time to react. Trapped in the leopard's jaws, it was dragged away in seconds. Next, the wild boar, with its thick fur and sharp tusks, is a strong and stubborn animal, known for its endurance and ability to fight back when threatened. It can defend itself with powerful attacks, especially when facing predators. However, when facing the leopard, a swift and powerful predator, the wild boar will face a significant challenge. The leopard, with its ability to strike unexpectedly and its agility, can easily find the wild boar's weak spots. Despite the wild boar's strength and resilience, the leopard remains a formidable challenge in this life and death battle. From above, the leopard suddenly pounced like a living arrow, seizing the wild boar. The surprise attack left the boar stunned, but with its strong survival instincts, it immediately retaliated fiercely, using its strength and sharp tusks to fight back relentlessly, turning the hunt into a brutal confrontation between predator and prey. The leopard clamped tightly onto the wild boar's neck, forcing it down to the ground, denying the prey any chance to resist. The wild boar, in pain, desperately struggled, kicking up a cloud of dust, turning the area white. But the deep wound and its weakening strength caused it to collapse. In the end, the wild boar became the leopard's prey, an inevitable outcome in the wild world. While passing through a dense forest, the leopard inadvertently got too close to a wild boar's den. Suddenly, from the dark cave, an adult wild boar charged out with ferocity, chasing and attacking with relentless force. The violent charges and loud roars sent the leopard into a panic. Caught off guard by a strong and aggressive opponent, the leopard quickly turned and fled, disappearing into the thick foliage. It seemed the encounter was over, but what no one expected happened. A short time later, the leopard silently returned. Taking advantage of the moment when the adult boar was absent, it stealthily entered the den. With its agility and calculating hunting instincts, it carried off a weak, defenseless piglet as its prize and disappeared deep into the forest, taking the prey back to its lair. Across the vast grasslands of the African savanna, wildebeest symbolize endurance and herd unity. Thousands move together across dry terrain, constantly searching for water and fresh grazing land. But their journey is anything but safe. Hidden in the brush or perched in the trees, leopards watch their every move. They don't rush in, they wait for the right moment. A calf straying from the herd or a weak one falling behind. Wildebeest may be fast and tough, but even a split second of carelessness can turn fatal. In a land where survival is a second-by-second battle, every encounter between predator and prey is intense, and sometimes life is decided in an instant. From a shallow, rocky den, a leopard slipped out like a shadow. Its eyes locked onto a young antelope, busy grazing, unaware of the danger behind it. The leopard crouched low, moving in total silence, then suddenly sprang forward. The calf bolted in panic, but just as the final strike was about to land, the mother charged in like a storm. Head down, sharp horns aimed, She struck hard and fast. Caught off guard, the leopard backed off, then turned and fled. Once again, a mother's fierce defense saved her young from the claws of death. Pressed against a rocky ledge, the leopard stayed perfectly still, blending into the landscape with its spotted coat. Its cold eyes tracked every move of a young wildebeest, unknowingly drifting closer. There was no rush, only patience. Then, as the calf passed by, the leopard exploded from its hiding spot like a bolt of lightning. One flawless pounce brought the prey down before it even knew what hit it. The ambush ended in seconds, leaving the leopard with a hard-earned meal won through patience and deadly precision. On the dry, dusty plains, the air was thick with tension during a high-speed chase. A leopard sprinted at incredible speed, closing in on a wildebeest running for its life. In just moments, the leopard launched a powerful pounce, slamming the prey into the dirt. Without hesitation, it went straight for the neck, the most vital spot. The wildebeest struggled, but exhaustion took over fast. The chase ended in a clean, decisive win for the skilled predator. High in the dense canopy, a leopard watched silently, eyes locked on a herd of wildebeest moving below. It spotted a calf that had strayed from the group, a perfect target. Without hesitation, the leopard launched from the tree like a shadow, diving at terrifying speed. Faced with such bold resistance, the leopard backed off and leapt back into the tree, ending the hunt empty-handed. On the vast open plains, a herd of wildebeest grazed peacefully, unaware of the danger nearby. Hidden in the thick brush, a group of leopards moved in silent, calculated, each step bringing them closer without a sound. When the moment was right, they burst out like dark arrows, sending the herd into a panic. But the coordinated attack quickly formed a deadly trap. One wildebeest, separated from the group, fought back in desperation, but it was no match. The leopard's speed and strength brought it down fast. The hunt ended in seconds, leaving the prey behind as a hard-earned meal for the hungry pack. The African wild dog, with its intelligent hunting tactics and exceptional pack coordination, is a formidable predator. However, when facing the leopard, a swift and cunning predator, they encounter a significant challenge. The leopard, with its superb attacking skills, can easily dodge the wild dog's attacks, making them cautious. Despite the wild dog's numbers, the leopard remains an extremely dangerous opponent. The pack of African wild dogs suddenly charged, attacking the leopard from all sides. Surrounded and alone, the leopard used all its strength to resist in desperate defense. One wild dog unexpectedly bit into its belly, causing excruciating pain as the leopard writhed in agony. Though its body bled and pain spread throughout, the leopard remained resilient, refusing to fall. After a breathless struggle, it found a gap and quickly leapt out of the trap, barely escaping with its life. On the edge of the forest, the leopard was suddenly attacked by a pack of African wild dogs. Although overwhelmed by their numbers, it courageously fought back with determination. In the struggle, the leopard sees the opportunity to land a deadly blow, taking down one of the wild dogs, before immediately leaping up into the tall trees to escape. The brief battle ended with both loss and the sharp survival instincts of the solitary predator. African wild dogs are tactical masters on the savanna. They hunt in packs, working in perfect coordination, relentlessly pursuing their prey until there is no escape. In contrast, the cheetah is a solitary predator, relying on its agility and ability to deliver precise, lightning-fast strikes. On one side is the strength of the collective, on the other the superior speed of the individual. Despite their different methods, both are fierce and dangerous predators among the most formidable in Africa. In the vast grasslands, the African wild dog pack surrounds the cheetah, thinking it will give up and retreat in the face of the pack's strength. The cheetah is crouching down, enjoying its meal in the grasslands when the African wild dogs begin to appear. They are not in a hurry, silently observing and slowly closing in from all directions. Gradually, the cheetah fails to realize it is surrounded. When the cheetah turns away for a moment, the pack strikes all at once. In an instant, they snatch the prey away, leaving the cheetah standing still, exhausted and regretful, watching them go empty-handed. Buffaloes are among the toughest warriors of the African savanna. With massive bodies, strong, curved horns like steel shields, and unshakable herd unity, they stand their ground when threatened. Instead of fleeing, they turn to fight, sparking confrontations that even the fiercest predators think twice about. But hidden in the quiet brush, the leopard is always watching. It doesn't charge head-on, it stalks patiently, waiting for that brief moment when a calf strays or falls behind. That's when its killer instinct kicks in. With one precise pounce and a fatal bite to the throat, this small cat can bring down prey many times its size, then haul the kill up a tree to avoid scavengers. One side has brute strength and fearless loyalty. The other, cold precision and lightning-fast reflexes. The clash between leopard and buffalo paints a perfect picture of the wild, brutal, majestic, and a place where only the strong, in their own way, survive. Perched on a low branch across the vast savanna, the leopard stays perfectly still, blending into the thick green leaves like a shadow. Below, a herd of buffalo has surrounded the tree, their eyes sharp and bodies tense, growling in defense after spotting the leopard's failed ambush on a calf. From above, the leopard watches anxiously, its heartbeat rising with every movement of the herd. As the buffaloes shift their attention and a small opening appears, the leopard leaps from the branch, slipping through teeth. The leopard creeps silently toward the herd of buffalo, its eyes like daggers, locked onto a young calf standing alone at the edge, the perfect target. It lowers its body to the ground, every muscle tense, ready to strike with a deadly leap. But just then, a faint sound breaks the silence, shattering the deadly calm. As if triggered by instinct, the herd instantly shifts into defense mode. The adult buffalo charge forward with force, horns lowered, fiercely protecting their vulnerable member. Sensing danger, the leopard springs into retreat, leaping onto a nearby tree and climbing high into the canopy, vanishing into the leaves. Another hunt failed by mere seconds. Hidden deep in the tall, thick grass, the leopard quietly watches a herd of buffalo grazing under the savanna sun. It doesn't rush its focus, locked on a young calf standing alone at the edge, weak and vulnerable. Softly, almost soundless, the leopard creeps closer, preparing for a lightning-fast strike. The upgraded troop approached and aided by light. But just as it's about to pounce, a nearby adult buffalo spots the movement. Without hesitation, it lowers its head and charges like a storm, sharp horns aimed at the predator. Caught off guard, the leopard has no choice but to leap up and retreat into the brush, abandoning the ambush. The hunt ends before it begins thanks to the buffalo's sharp instincts and fierce loyalty to the herd. In the heart of the sun-scorched African savanna, where survival is a daily battle, lives one of the most strategic predators of all, the African wild dog. It may not look impressive at first glance, but don't be fooled. Those big ears, mottled fur, and relentless stride mark one of the most efficient hunters on the continent. Unlike the lone hunting cheetah, famous for its speed and sudden strikes, African wild dogs hunt in packs, moving with perfect coordination. Every hunt is a display of strategy. They assign roles, cut off escape routes, surround their target, and keep chasing until it collapses from exhaustion. Even cheetahs think twice before crossing paths with these fierce pack hunters. More than once, cheetahs have brought down prey, only to back off as the wild dogs move in and claim the meal. This rivalry between two top predators is a raw example of how brutal and complex the food chain really is. Out here, survival isn't just about speed or strength. It's about patience, teamwork, and sometimes sheer numbers. Watch closely to see how African wild dogs can push even the fastest hunter on Earth to retreat. On the vast savanna, as a herd of wildebeest peacefully grazes, a lone cheetah waits silently in the tall grass. Its sharp eyes lock onto a young calf that strayed from the group. Suddenly, like a spring unleashed, the cheetah bursts out at incredible speed. Within seconds, it closes the gap and lands a precise strike from behind, knocking the calf to the ground. Moments later, other cheetahs from the group emerge from different directions, working together to finish the job. Surrounded with no escape, the young wildebeest stands no chance. The hunt ends swiftly, a cold, calculated victory for the savanna's fastest predators. Three cheetahs are enjoying their hard-earned meal after a high-speed, precision hunt. But the moment doesn't last. From a distance, a pack of African wild dogs begins to close in, quiet and ghost-like across the savanna. They quickly surround the scene, eyes locked on the still-breathing prey. Outnumbered and outmatched, the cheetahs are forced to retreat, watching helplessly as their kill is taken. Once again, nature delivers a harsh reminder. Out here, being the strongest doesn't always mean you get the last bite. Finally, we have the cheetah. In the wild, these two big cats share the harsh African savanna, but they survive using completely different strategies. The cheetah is unmatched in speed, going from 0 to 100 km/h in seconds. With a slim build and long legs, it's a blur of motion and a nightmare for weak prey. But speed isn't everything. In the shade, the leopard takes a different path. it does race across the grasslands. It hunts with deadly patience, moving silently and striking at the perfect moment. One is lightning, the other is a shadow. They both hunt. They both live on the edge. But when they meet, which wins, speed or stealth? In the dry desert, a rare chase breaks out between two top predators. A cheetah, fast and fearless, suddenly charges at a leopard. The leopard gives up the area to the faster, bolder rival. On the dry ground of the wild, a leopard finds itself in sudden danger. Two cheetahs appear from opposite directions. With bold speed and teamwork, they launch a rapid attack. They try to overpower the lone predator. Caught off guard, the leopard growls and backs away. Surrounded and outmatched, it has no choice but to surrender and stay down. Out on the wild savanna, a brutal fight for survival unfolds. A leopard suddenly charges at a weak cub that strayed from its mother. The mother leaps in, risking everything to protect her young. She growls and stands her ground against the attacker. But the leopard doesn't back off. With cold precision and greater strength, it shifts focus to the mother. It strikes hard and brings her down. The fight is short but ruthless. It's a harsh reminder that in the wild, even a mother's love can't always beat a predator's power. A roar shatters the silence of the savanna. Two leopards suddenly clash in a fierce fight. Their spotted coats flash through the tall grass. Claws slash the air, and powerful strikes echo all around. It's a fight for territory, food, and the right to survive. The lion is the top predator in the food chain of the African savanna, distinguished by its strength, pack tactics, and powerful roar. While the cheetah relies on speed to take down prey, the lion uses strength and coordination to ambush and overpower. Although both hunt animals like wildebeests and zebras avoid lions if it doesn't want to lose the meal it has just captured. Many times, after the cheetah is exhausted from chasing and bringing down its prey, the lion unexpectedly appears and boldly steals the spoils. The presence of the lion forces the cheetah to eat quickly or abandon the kill entirely. Wildlife is not only a race between predator and prey, but also a fierce competition between predators, where speed is not always the deciding factor in winning. The cheetah spots a lion silently approaching, targeting its cubs. Without hesitation, the cheetah immediately charges to stop the threat. Though fully aware that the lion is much stronger, the maternal instinct drives it to not back down. The sudden attack forces the lion to halt, giving the cubs a chance to quickly retreat to safety. In the wild, the instinct to protect offspring can make a solitary predator braver than ever, ready to face danger to ensure the safety of the next generation. In the arid desert, a lion and a cheetah unexpectedly cross paths. They stand facing each other, their sharp eyes observing and assessing their opponent. Without hesitation, the cheetah suddenly charges, striking first. Though smaller and not as strong as the lion, it takes the initiative, showing boldness and decisiveness in this uneven confrontation. Knowing it faces a powerful and dominant predator, the cheetah doesn't back down, proving that fighting is instinct, and sometimes speed and daring can create miracles. Finally, the hedgehog, with its sharp spines and the ability to curl into a protective ball, is a superb defender. However, when facing the leopard, a swift and skilled predator, the hedgehog will face a great challenge. Although the hedgehog's spines can be difficult to deal with, the leopard, with its precise attacking skills, can easily find weak spots and overcome the hedgehog's defenses. By the roadside, a family of hedgehogs moved slowly, searching for food. Suddenly, a leopard appeared, approaching with a cold, predatory gaze. It quickly targeted the young hedgehog, a small prey, seemingly easy to devour. However, the father and mother hedgehogs immediately reacted. Both charged forward, enveloping their young in a living wall of spines, an impenetrable defense. Each strike from the leopard was blocked by hundreds of sharp spines. The hunger drove the leopard to become reckless, but the retaliatory strikes from the hedgehog's spines caused it to be wounded repeatedly. Gradually, its strength waned, and the leopard had no choice but to retreat, abandoning the meal it had once thought would be easy. Once again, resilience and family bonds saved the tiny life in the deep forest. In the Sahara Desert, under the scorching heat, two leopards wandered, searching for prey. This time, their target was two tiny hedgehogs. As the leopards moved closer with the intent to attack, the hedgehogs immediately huddled together, erecting a wall of sharp spines for defense. The leopards repeatedly pounced lightly, testing for weaknesses in the defensive barrier, but the dense and sturdy spines kept them from getting close. In the end, the leopards were left powerless, watching as the prey slowly retreated into the scorching desert heat with a look of regret in their eyes. The leopard, desperate from hunger after a long period of unsuccessful hunting, recklessly attacked a hedgehog. Unaware of the danger, it used its paws and teeth to strike, only to be pierced deeply by the sharp spines of the hedgehog. In pain, it withdrew, then returned with renewed determination to kill the prey despite its injuries. The hedgehog's spines have tiny barbed tips that easily penetrate but are incredibly difficult to remove, making it impossible for the leopard to dislodge them. Though the hedgehog didn't shoot its spines, just a simple touch causes them to burrow deep into the predator's flesh. Many predators, having experienced this danger, tend to avoid hedgehogs. Pierced through the tissues and unable to handle the damage, the leopard suffered excruciating pain. Although it eventually killed the hedgehog to eat, a few days later, it was found dead from infection and exhaustion. A tragic end for a predator defeated by its tiny prey. On the vast African savanna, wildebeests are relentless migrants, moving in huge herds to find water and food. They cross dry lands and face constant threats along the way. One of those threats is the leopard, a lone, fast, and patient predator. Leopards don't strike at random. They wait for the right moment, usually when a wildebeest is separated from the herd. Even though wildebeests are strong and quick, one slip can cost them everything. In this harsh land, where danger hides behind every bush, the battle between predator and prey never stops. And most of the time, it's over in just a few seconds. Hidden in thick grass, the leopard watches a herd of wildebeests grazing ahead. It stays completely silent, body tense, waiting for the right moment to strike. Then, in a split second, it launches like an arrow. Sharp claws grab a young wildebeest standing near the edge of the herd. A loud cry echoes, and the herd panics, kicking up a storm of dust across the field. The leopard bites down on the prey's neck, giving it no chance to fight back. The hunt ends in just a few short seconds. From a shallow den, the leopard quietly creeps out, eyes locked on a young wildebeest nearby. Without making a sound, it crouches low and suddenly charges from behind. The calf panics, startled by the attack. But before the leopard can finish the strike, the mother spots it. She rushes in fast, head down, and drives her sharp horns straight at the predator. Caught off guard, the leopard backs off and quickly runs away. The hunt fails. Once again, a mother's instinct saves her calf from death. Hidden behind a rocky ledge, the leopard stays completely still. Its cold, sharp eyes track every step of a young wildebeest, unknowingly getting closer. It waits, patient and precise. As the calf walks past, the leopard strikes like lightning. In a split second, it lands a perfect pounce and grabs the prey in one clean move. No hesitation, no chance for the wildebeest to react. The ambush is fast, clean, and leaves no room for escape. Across the scorched savanna, a tense chase unfolds. The leopard sprints like a bullet, staying close behind a wildebeest trying to escape. In a split second, it leaps and brings the prey down hard. Wasting no time, the leopard bites into the wildebeest's neck, a fatal weak spot. The prey struggles in panic, but its strength fades quickly. Seconds later, it's over. The leopard wins. From a high tree branch, the leopard quietly watches the wildebeest herd below. Its eyes lock onto a lone calf that has wandered away. Sensing the moment, it jumps down and charges like lightning toward the target. But just as it gets ready to strike, a mother wildebeest suddenly charges in. Caught off guard by her fierce reaction, the leopard backs off. It leaps back into the tree and gives up the hunt. On a peaceful grassland, a herd of wildebeests grazes, unaware of the danger creeping closer. Not far away, a group of leopards silently moves in, each step quiet and careful. Once close enough, they all charge at once, launching a sudden attack. The wildebeests panic and scatter, but they're surrounded from all sides. The leopards move in sync, giving the prey no chance to escape. Despite its efforts to fight back, the wildebeest quickly tires and is brought down. The hunt ends and the prey becomes a meal for the entire leopard group. First up is the hyena. In the wild, hyenas are often misunderstood as scavengers, but in reality, they're tough, organized hunters. Living in strict hierarchies, hyena packs can take down prey much larger than themselves. Their teamwork and ambush tactics are highly effective. They have incredibly strong jaws, able to crush bone, and their eerie laughter often signals that death is near. In contrast, the leopard is a silent, lone predator. It doesn't attack head-on. It hides, strikes fast, then disappears. Even with its strength and hunting skill, The leopard stays cautious around hyenas, especially when alone on open ground. Clashes between these two are battles of brains and brute force. One relies on deadly silence, the other on overwhelming numbers and grit. In a world where only the adaptable survive, every leopard-hyena encounter is a fight with no room for mercy. With footsteps light as air, the leopard silently creeps toward a lone hyena. Distracted and without its pack, the hyena doesn't sense the danger. The leopard waits for the perfect moment. Then it bolts like an arrow through the wind. The powerful pounce lands hard. Its sharp teeth lock onto a vital spot. The hyena collapses after a few seconds of struggle. Wasting no time, the leopard drags the carcass up a tree. There, away from other predators, the meal becomes its private prize. A dramatic showdown unfolds on the grassland as a leopard spots a hyena trying to drag off a kill it had already marked. With superior speed and incredible agility, the leopard charges in. It strikes with its claws and lands a direct hit. Stunned by the fierce attack, the hyena retreats, leaving the carcass behind. Wasting no time, the leopard grabs the prey and climbs up a tall tree. Below, the hyena watches in shock, powerless to take back what was just stolen by a faster, bolder rival. With its prey clamped in its jaws, the leopard quickly drags the kill away. But it doesn't get far before two aggressive hyenas spot it. Fast and reckless as always, they charge in hard. The leopard has to drop the kill to save itself. Outnumbered, it retreats into the bushes. But a predator's instinct doesn't give up easily. When the hyenas let their guard down, the leopard suddenly returns to reclaim its meal. The hyenas react fast. They snarl and chase the leopard deep into the forest. They guard the stolen prize fiercely, sending a clear message. In this harsh land, there's no room for hesitation or weakness. While patrolling its usual hunting grounds, the leopard spots a brown hyena quietly entering its territory. Without hesitation, it charges forward at lightning speed, growling in warning. And the leopard just proved it will defend its land at all costs. On the dry grassland, a tense standoff unfolds between a leopard and a hyena over a fresh kill. The leopard made the kill first, but the noise draws in an opportunist. The hyena shows up, growling and moving in with bold steps. The leopard tries to hold onto its prize, but the hyena's stubbornness and aggression shift the balance. In a split second, the hyena snatches the carcass and drags it away. The leopard is left staring, powerless and stunned. Finally, the hedgehog, with its sharp spines and the ability to curl into a protective ball, is a superb defender. However, when facing the leopard, a swift and skilled predator, the hedgehog will face a great challenge. Although the hedgehog's spines can be difficult to deal with, the leopard, with its precise attacking skills, can easily find weak spots and overcome the hedgehog's defenses. By the roadside, a family of hedgehogs moved slowly, searching for food. Suddenly, a leopard appeared, approaching with a cold, predatory gaze. It quickly targeted the young hedgehog, a small prey, seemingly easy to devour. However, the father and mother hedgehogs immediately reacted. Both charged forward, enveloping their young in a living wall of spines, an impenetrable defense. Each strike from the leopard was blocked by hundreds of sharp spines. The hunger drove the leopard to become reckless, but the retaliatory strikes from the hedgehog's spines caused it to be wounded repeatedly. Gradually, its strength waned, and the leopard had no choice but to retreat, abandoning the meal it had once thought would be easy. Once again, resilience and family bonds saved the tiny life in the deep forest. In the Sahara Desert, under the scorching heat, two leopards wandered, searching for prey. This time, their target was two tiny hedgehogs. As the leopards moved closer with the intent to attack, the hedgehogs immediately huddled together, erecting a wall of sharp spines for defense. The leopards repeatedly pounced lightly, testing for weaknesses in the defensive barrier, but the dense and sturdy spines kept them from getting close. In the end, the leopards were left powerless, watching as the prey slowly retreated into the scorching desert heat with a look of regret in their eyes. The leopard, desperate from hunger after a long period of unsuccessful hunting, recklessly attacked a hedgehog. Unaware of the danger, it used its paws and teeth to strike, only to be pierced deeply by the sharp spines of the hedgehog. In pain, it withdrew, then returned with renewed determination to kill the prey despite its injuries. The hedgehog's spines have tiny barbed tips that easily penetrate but are incredibly difficult to remove, making it impossible for the leopard to dislodge them. Though the hedgehog didn't shoot its spines, just a simple touch causes them to burrow deep into the predator's flesh. Many predators, having experienced this danger, tend to avoid hedgehogs. Pierced through the tissues and unable to handle the damage, the leopard suffered excruciating pain. Although it eventually killed the hedgehog to eat, a few days later, it was found dead from infection and exhaustion. A tragic end for a predator defeated by its tiny prey. Buffaloes are the tough warriors of the African savanna, known for their massive build, curved horns like steel shields, and unshakable herd unity. When threatened, the entire herd is ready to turn and fight back, creating fierce clashes that even the most ferocious predators think twice about. But the leopard is a silent hunter of the forest shadows, never one to give up easily. It avoids direct confrontation, instead stalking patiently and striking at the perfect moment. When a calf gets separated or shows weakness, that's when the leopard makes its move. Despite being much smaller, it can take down its prey with a deadly bite to the throat, then silently drag the carcass up a tree, out of reach of stronger rivals. On one side, there's brute strength and unbreakable unity. On the other, stealth, agility, and chilling precision. The battle between buffalo and leopard is a raw, majestic display of the wild's harsh reality. The leopard quietly moved closer to the buffalo herd, its sharp eye standing alone on the outer edge. It crouched low to the ground, muscles tensed, ready to strike. But a faint sound shattered the silence, and in that instant the entire herd sensed danger. The adult buffaloes reacted immediately, charging in with horns pointed forward, full of protective fury. Caught off guard, the leopard had no choice but to leap onto a nearby tree and climb swiftly upward, escaping the stampede by a narrow margin. On a low branch in the middle of the open grasslands, the leopard lay still, cleverly hidden behind dense leaves. Below, a herd of buffalo surrounded the tree, growling in alert after spotting the predator that had tried to ambush one of their calves. From above, the leopard watched every movement, waiting for the slightest chance to escape. Without hesitation, the leopard sprang from the branch, gliding through the opening like a breeze, vanishing into the forest before any buffalo could even turn around. Hidden in thick grass, the leopard patiently watched the buffalo herd grazing nearby. Its cold, sharp eyes locked onto a lone calf standing on the edge of the group, a perfect target. Waiting in silence, it inched forward, ready for a lightning-fast strike. But at that very moment, the herd's instincts kicked in. An adult buffalo suddenly charged, horns lowered, darting like a spear toward the predator. Caught off guard, the leopard sprang up in panic and bolted into the bushes to escape. The ambush ended as quickly as it began, foiled in an instant by the alertness and powerful retaliation of its prey. Across the vast African savanna, the gazelle stands as a symbol of grace and alertness. With a slender body, long legs, and incredible speed, it's a master of quick escapes. But here survival is never easy. The predator lies in wait, the cheetah, the king of speed. As sunlight filters through the grass, the showdown begins. The cheetah, with its spotted coat and sharp eyes, tracks every movement of its prey. In the decisive moment, it unleashes its power, reaching speeds of up to 100 km/h, launching toward the gazelle like a living arrow. The chase between life and death lasts only seconds, but it leaves a lasting mark on the wild story of survival. Under the midday sun on the savanna, a herd of gazelles grazed peacefully, unaware that a pair of cold eyes was tracking their every step. Hidden in the tall grass, a cheetah watched patiently, waiting for the right moment. When it spotted a lone gazelle separated from the herd, its hunting instinct kicked in. Without hesitation, the cheetah sprang forward with lightning speed. Using smart tactics, it flanked the prey from two sides, startling the gazelle into a panicked run. But against the unmatched speed of the fastest predator on Earth, every attempt to escape was useless. In seconds, the cheetah closed the gap, launched a final pounce, and sank its sharp teeth into the gazelle's neck, holding tight until it collapsed. With no time to fight back, the gazelle became the next meal in the brutal survival game of the African grasslands. On the sunlit savanna, a group of young gazelles was busy grazing, completely unaware of the danger silently closing in. From a distance, a cheetah crept forward, its cold eyes locked on the target. Suddenly, it burst forward like lightning, aiming straight at a young gazelle on the edge of the herd. In the chaos, the small gazelle was struck and thrown to the ground. Under the predator's sharp claws and overwhelming strength, it had almost no chance to resist. Without hesitation, the cheetah delivered a series of fatal bites. In seconds, the prey collapsed. Then it grabbed the kill and carried it back to the den, sharing the prize with other cheetahs in the group. The hunt ended silently and ruthlessly, where weakness means death and a single moment of distraction can cost a life. On the sun-scorched savanna, a leopard silently tracked a lone jackal. Eyes cold, body tense with power, it waited patiently for the perfect moment. When the jackal stepped into range, the leopard struck like lightning. One swift pounce, a fatal bite to the neck, the jackal never had a chance. In seconds, the hunt was over. The leopard grabbed its kill and quietly disappeared, leaving only a faint trail of blood fading into the heat of the wild. Spotting a wild boar carcass in the dry grass, a pack of jackals moved in, hoping for a free meal. But they didn't know the real predator was watching from the shadows. Suddenly, a leopard burst from the bushes, growling and attacking the intruders without warning. What followed was a fierce fight, snarls, lunges, and chaos. With raw power and cold precision, the leopard drove the jackals away, securing its meal and keeping the scavengers at bay. On the scorching desert floor, a wild dog lay sound asleep under the burning sun, unaware of the danger closing in. From a distance, a leopard moved in silently, each step light as air, eyes locked onto its careless prey. Once within striking range, it lunged without hesitation. The attack was precise, hitting a weak spot. In seconds, it became the latest kill of the silent predator, the leopard. In the thick bush, a wild dog curled up under a tree, fast asleep in the midday heat. Not a sound, not a clue. But the calm was short-lived. A leopard, catching the scent of prey, crept in each step light as air, eyes locked on the sleeping target. Then, in a flash, it struck. The wild dog had no time to react. Trapped in the leopard's jaws, it was dragged away in seconds.